Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So first thing, let's dive into making these meatballs. Right here I'm using 8015 lean ground beef. Then I decided to use some brocks. They were cheddar brocks that I had in my refrigerator for a while, so that's why I used those to make the meatballs. Right here I'm quickly showing you the seasonings that I'm using for the mixture, which is red pepper, oregano, as well as garlic powder. We're going to do some parsley flakes and some thyme, dried thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you like. The fresher the better. And also I'm using this KRAFT Parmesan cheese, which is in a classic Italian. I thought to add that because it has Italian seasoning and cheese to it, so I thought that would be great. And then we're using some basil. I got it that it was in a lightly dry form, which I purchased at my local Meijer grocery store. And then before that, I also showed you a little cup of chopped garlic, which I used about 2 cloves of chopped diced garlic. Right here, I'm just quickly taking out the brats out of their casing. So I just cut an opening across the brats and took off the casing. You don't want that casing because then you're going to have links instead of meat. And then after that, I added my ground beef. I'm sorry that my camera was going in and out. I didn't realize that until I finished recording the video. So I'm going to add the seasoning, the vegetables, which is onion and green pepper. I mean green bell pepper. I'm sorry. I use about a half of an onion, yellow onion, and then about a half of finely diced green peppers. So right here I'm not measuring because this is my first time trying it, you guys. So I'm just going with the flow of what I think how much the mixture needs of whatever seasoning. So I'm adding that all in there. What you want to do is when you add your mixture, you don't want to mix the meat yet until you get everything in there. So your seasonings, your vegetables, all of that. So right here we're going to make the bread milk mixture, which is going to help give the meatball some moisture. So I just simply took 3 slices of whole wheat bread, and then I'm just putting some milk into it until the bread absorbs the milk and it becomes mushy. Once that is completed, then I'm going to add that on top of my meat mixture. And then we're going to add about egg, one whole egg. After you put that all in there, now it's time to get your hands dirty and mix, 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 mix. For your meat, when you use ground meat, you do not want to over mix your mixture. Otherwise, your meat is going to be a little bit tough. So that's the reason why we waited to the last minute to mix. We want to put everything in there, and then at the very end, I'm mixing. Mixing the mixture as quickly as possible because, like I said, I don't want to over process my meat to where the hamburger meat becomes tough. After that's mixed, next we're gonna make some meatball sandwiches, you guys. Yum, yum, yum. I'm so excited for this. Sorry for the delay. So right here I have a plate of just all-purpose flour. We didn't season the flour. We just put some flour on some plastic plates. And then next, I'm taking some meatballs and I'm starting to form them in little, taking the meat and starting to form them in little balls, which it looks like it's about the size of a golf ball. That's how big I want my meatballs because we're going to put them on a sandwich. You can make your meatballs as big or as small as you like, depending on what you like. If you're using them for spaghetti, then you can make them bigger than that. If you want, you can make them smaller. So I did forget to record. I'm not sure why I don't have this part of the video, but I actually can't find it. I did record it though. I didn't show you at the beginning what I put into the sauce, which was 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, 2 big cans of crushed tomatoes. And then I took the other half of the onion that I used for my meat mixture and put that in there, as well as tiny baby whole carrots. I put about a cup and a half of baby carrots in there, and I sauteed that in the oil that I used to fry my meatballs. I am so sad, you guys. I don't know if I deleted the footage or what happened. But I did first saute the onions and the carrots first, and then after they got coated with the oil, and after the onions became translucent, then that's when I added my crushed tomatoes, and then just started to simmer that for a good 15 minutes until my carrots became soft. After my carrots became soft, then I added my seasoning, which is the same exact seasoning that I used for my meatball mixture, which had the thyme, the oregano, the parsley, the salt, the pepper, the garlic, as well as some Parmesan classic Italian grated cheese, which I added after I processed the sauce, the marinara sauce. So right here I'm putting the marinara sauce in my blender because the carrots are still whole, so I want to blend those with the mixture, which is going to completely change the texture of this sauce. I love adding carrots to it just because it gave it a more in-depth flavor. You don't have to add carrots to your marinara sauce if you don't want to, or if you don't already do so. But I did because when you do make a classic tomato sauce, most of the time you're going to add carrots. It gives it a more, like I said, depth flavor, a more in-depth flavor right there. So after I blend all of the ingredients in my blender, then I'm going to pour that right back into the same pan and let it simmer for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, then I'm going back in and I'm going to add the Parmesan Italian classic cheese from KRAFT. You don't have to go out and buy that. And actually, I have a separate video that I created that will give you my full opinion on what I thought of the sandwich. So for the meatballs, after I coated the meatballs with the flour, I just quickly fried them in a pan of olive oil. I had garlic olive oil that I used and got them brown. After I browned them, then I put those meatballs into a baking dish, put them in the oven at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. I'm so sorry, you guys. I didn't, I don't know what happened to that footage. I'm really disappointed. But right here, as you see, I added the cheese, and you see the texture now is a lot more thicker, which is what we're going for. So I'm going in to taste it, see how it tastes. You definitely want to make sure you taste what you're cooking so that you know if you need to add a little bit more seasoning to the sauce. So after I added all the seasonings that I could, I went back in, added some more cheese, and then I also added it's like about a tablespoon of sugar. You want to do that because that will balance out the acidity in your tomato sauce or marinara sauce. Whenever you make a spaghetti or a marinara sauce with some form of tomatoes in it, you're always going to put some a little bit of sugar in it to balance out the acidity. And then I went in and just sprinkled some of seasoning salt on it. And like right there, you see that white stuff was a little bit of the sugar that I added to it. We don't want it to be too sweet, but we don't want it to be all tart and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really have fun making this dish. It was a process, but I'm really proud of myself for making it. Let me know what you think. If you tried it, please let me know your honest opinion. I love to hear people's comments and what they think of my dishes that I made. Also, if you have any tips on marinara sauces that you've made before, then let me know, as well as any suggestions. Don't forget to follow me. I am on Instagram at Saber Cooking, so you can follow me there too. I post selfies like everybody else does, and I post pictures of the foods that I make, even places that I go to, my local restaurants where I live. So follow me, and if you follow me, I'll definitely follow you back. I'm one of those people that like to support other people as well. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed sorry, my voice. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. Love and good eats. Bye.